Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining us again. And well, the people have spoken. Last week's Porsche video where we drilled out, templated, plasma cut that back corner reinforcement panel went down so well. Thank you so much to everybody that has left us a comment, a positive comment, some negative, but hey, that's okay. Criticism is always welcome. You want more Porsche. You don't mind if there's a small update. So hey, it's now Monday morning. I have to go to the repair shop tonight, but I don't have a meeting. So I've got no deadline. I can get there whenever, whatever time. I mean, as long as I can actually stay awake. Hopefully we're gonna have a good day today in the workshop and see how far we can get into this rear sort of crumpled up quarter. This body support bracket is coming off. 2 bolts on the inside, hopefully are gonna come undone and not snap. This is available, so I don't need to be templating this. I just need to get it out the way. This is the product we all know and love, the general purpose. But look at this bendy straw. So it's not just the normal red straw that's sellotape to the side of the can that you lose in about 10 seconds after buying the can. Now you get this little bendy straw that you can put anywhere. So you can get in an engine bay and put it actually that way, and it sprays, whee, in any direction. Love it. No. Okay, we lost one. No major loss, I'm not too worried about that. And there's a lot, again, there's a lot of hidden corrosion between the 2 panels. Let me give this a poke with a screwdriver, look at this. It's like pulling a tooth out. Come on. Oh, there it is. I am sweating, my God. Apparently it's going to be 30 degrees today. What a day I've chosen to be wearing all this PPE in this hot workshop. Oh, goodness me. Hey, I'd rather this than rain though. The typical British. Complain when it's cold, and then as soon as it's nice and sunny, moan it's too hot. Here it is. I did end up chopping quite a lot of it because the panels it was spot welded to are completely rotten. Like, look at this, I'll pop it down. This is 2 panels. See the line of spot welds along there. I just thought it was all knackered, so I just thought the best thing to do was just to chop it off, get it all out of the way. Keeping the other side completely whole, so I've got that as a reference because that is less rusty and a lot straighter. It's not damaged at all, it's not bent at all. So I'm going to use the other side as a good reference for which way layers go and where tabs go. But really it's lots of sheets of steel with folds and spot welds. So fingers crossed, we should be okay. This is the area that I was trying to get to. I need to get this section of the chassis leg out the way so I can actually see what's happening in there, because it's a closed in box section. I can't get in there. So all of this needs to come off. This bracket is for the bump stop, and that is where the shock bolts to. That all needs to go, because this is all rotten, completely rotten. And to be fair, even this, look at that, is rotten. And behind it, doesn't look too clever either. I'm all for making my life as easy as possible. And where I can, I will buy the panels. I'm not going to try and make every single panel. This bump stop section is available. It's a nice panel. So I can chop this all out of the way, get that removed to gain access to that panel, so I can get that out of the way, and then hopefully start looking at repairing that firewall section. Not great news, kind of to be expected, but I was hoping not. Behind that bump stop mount, full of rot. Again, just goes to show you need to dig with these old cars, because on the surface that looked okay. Bear in mind, we're talking about sort of suspension mounts and sort of fairly structural parts now. It's important that they don't look like this. Inside that box section is where I want to get, because I want to see what that state that looks in there. The only way to do that is to keep on chopping. Well, after that epic amount of grinding, hammering, chiseling, drilling, grinding, hammering, I'm absolutely filthy. I'm knackered, but I'm getting somewhere. I've got to say, it is tricky keeping enthusiasm at times like this. Honestly, every bit that I try and dissect to find good metal, there's more rot behind it. This car, honestly, when I first bought this, I honestly didn't think it would be this bad. I knew it needed work, I knew it needed welding, but we're getting really serious now. This is major sort of chassis and big, sort of, we're in very deep. It's tough. I want to drive it, I want to use it, but I'll get there in the end. I will get there in the end, because when things like this keep happening, there's only so much of it you can take before, you just got to think, oh, and I guess that's it. That's what, just don't get disheartened. I'm trying my best to not get too disheartened, and I can just down tools, get in the van and head to a repair shop, deal with it next weekend. I'm almost at that point now, but to be fair, it's about 6 o'clock in the evening now. I've been on it all day, and all I've done is chop rusty bits out and find more rust. So this is all looking quite good now. The suspension mount stays there, that's welded to the inside. Inside there actually doesn't look too bad. I will blast it, but look, it's not too rusty. Thank goodness for that. And then I've been very careful with trying to dissect very careful with how I dissect all of this to try and show you really like so how the panel attaches. Bearing in mind there's this panel carries on and goes on first and carries on running to the back. Then there's the bump stop which goes over here, the bump stop bracket which fits there. Then there was another sort of like oval shaped support, like a brace that went over there like a strengthening bar. I've templated that. So I've got a paper template of that, and this panel goes up and then sort of does a little dog leg. So you can see the panel goes up, across, out and up. So that rusty bit there, that's all the same panel. I've cut here at the moment, but actually I need to remove, see I've cut across this line because I need to remove all of this skin up to this point so that when I make this new panel, it does exactly that with that little sort of stepped return all the way up, and see all these spot welds. That is how I will reattach it. At this point we've actually made it to the inside of the car, so that panel that you're looking at is there. Dear me. We've actually worked our way from the outside, we've worked our way in, and now I'm actually coming out inside the car. I've gone all the way through. Gonna sit here now and try and get that piece removed, but I'm about done for the day. I haven't got much more energy left. That's removed this panel that went down and wrapped under. That's now cut out and removed. There's actually 3 layers there in total. The next layer is this piece that goes up and then does that. I've got the top one out the way. That's revealed this, which is what's left of the lower piece. So I need to remove that, which is just going to leave me with one single skin, which is actually this panel. It's the inside of the chassis leg, which goes up and then in. That needs to be a nice clean solid surface so that everything else can attach to that. But I need to remove that layer and leave the one behind. Yes, it's off. I got these in the boot sale on Sunday, just literally 2 days ago. Proper Nipex. Guess how much? £1. After all that, this is the bit of rot that I wanted to fix, and that is this panel. So you can see now I've managed to leave the tab. This is all rotten as well, but I've managed to leave the tab in place. So you can kind of, there's a panel down here, very simple, little section there. All of these pieces, I've got really good reference over there. All of it, underneath, everywhere. But I'll make a new one of those. That's very small, that's simple. I'll chop this up there, diagonally there, make a new panel here. It's flat with one fold, simple. So I'll make that, put that in there. Once that's removed, there's this surprise inner strengthener, which is also a little bit rotten up there. So whilst I've got this one cut out the way, that will gain access to that. So I may as well chop down there and replace this bit. Again, a very simple right angle, easy to do now whilst we're in here. There's a tiny bit there, which so I'll cut that little tab out again, bend a bit, a little L. I'm at the point now where I can just start chopping out bits and doing some actual sort of little local repairs, and hopefully start putting some new steel in very soon. But then once all of these tabs have been replaced, the new chassis leg will sit nice and tight against that and against that and against these. You can see how it will line up nicely against the original, up there, over there, and then down there when to meet with that. Exactly like it's doing over there. Perfect. Inside here looks quite nice, look. This is why these things went so rusty, because there's no primer, underseal, any kind of oil or anything in there at all. It's just a bare steel. I think Porsche, when they made these, did not expect them to last this long. So inside box section like that you can't ever get to again. You think you would paint it or put something in there. At least have a look at drill a hole. Drill a hole and spray some Tectile or something up in there. Crazy. I guess, well, now we know. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? That pretty much rounds up another little mini Porsche update. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave me some comments. I love reading through the comments. So many of you sent me positive comments on the previous video, and I hope that you've enjoyed this one just as much. May seem like I've not achieved much, but actually this is really good. And I can now go away to the repair shop, work down there for the week, but on the back of my head the whole week I'll be thinking, all right, if I make that tab, I'll do that tab, and I'll do that, and I've got a lot to think about now, basically. But that's it. I'm knackered. I'm going to drive down to the barn now, have a well-deserved beer when I get to the hotel. I hope you have enjoyed this mini update. If I can keep doing these, it would be amazing, but something's going to come up one weekend when I don't have the day, so please don't be disappointed. We will be back on this soon. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. It makes a huge difference to us and our numbers and the algorithms. It may not make a difference to you, but we would really appreciate it if you can subscribe, and then you'll find out when the next episode is as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Take care.